Israeli fashion designers are making a splash on the world stage. Their first stop, Berlin's Fashion Week. Usually devoted to European fashion, this year it featured 6 Israeli brands. Their works, ranging from gender-neutral and sustainable clothing to jewelry, were showcased on the runway and in a showroom for international buyers.
Israeli fashion is unique because we combined a lot of different areas, like in the tech business, like in other areas. We mix up all the cultures, all the worlds, and create something that is totally new. European fashion is European, but Israeli fashion is much more eclectic.
My work is very Israeli because it deals with the melting pot that is Israel. I draw a lot of inspiration from the Moroccan culture, where my mother was born, but I'm also inspired by European fashion when it comes to silhouettes and colors.
My clothes reflect the Israeli nonchalant attitude, which also exists in me and affects me. Even though I originally came from a very different and European place, from St. Petersburg. But I allow for clothes that are not perfect, outfits that are always a mix of styles. This is very much Israeli.
Fashion is not usually the first thing to come to mind when talking about Israel, but according to the designers, it's about time that changes.
People are not surprised by us and our presence here because Tel Aviv is already very much on the map. People know that this is a lively city, one that never stops. And it's no longer surprising that it also has designers, both established and young ones.
Tel Aviv has its own vibe that appeals to the world, also regardless of design. It's about culture. We have sun, we have the sea, we have cool people, and they make their own fashion. I don't think we make fashion. Tel Aviv makes fashion.
Tel Aviv and Berlin, they have a love affair, as we know. In so many other areas, we have all the Israelis which live here. A lot of them are artists. We have a lot of Germans who come and look for innovation in Israel. And fashion is also something that it finally needs to be a part of this exchange.
History also plays a role here. Berlin's former fashion district was once home to numerous Jewish businesses, which dominated the industry before the Holocaust.
Not far from where we are, actually, there were a lot of Jewish-owned businesses, and this is something that, of course, never recovered after the war. So this is why it makes me even more proud to see that we have now 6 brands presenting this week at Fashion Week, and again, maybe in a way bringing back a bit the glory of what we saw before the war.
Restoring former glory and striving for new fame is a tall order, but not too tall for these designers. They are confident that, if given the chance, Israel too can be a fashion powerhouse.